Hello, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Navigating Midlife. I've actually recorded this session because I'm going to be busy at 2 p.m. today, but I wanted to still put out a message today or share my thoughts. So, if you've seen the thumbnail, you see that I'm talking about the lies that women are told. And how often, and this was a subject that came up Saturday night. I was out with some friends of mine, and we were talking about that. How, as women, especially when it comes to uh, medical issues or things that we're feeling, and we're talking to certain practitioners, a lot of times we hear that's just the way it is, or you're at that age and these things will happen. And I started to think about that. Where did this start? And it's really interesting because another friend of mine had sent me a video about a female doctor when she was in residency a number of years ago, and she was sharing the story of a woman being referred to as a WW, a whiny woman. And it's really unfortunate to hear stories like that women are referred that way or referred to in that manner when they're going to see a medical practitioner. And of course, this was a long time ago before uh, doctors really started to look at the effects of menopause and the stages of menopause and how they can affect us. But I also really just started to think about so many things when it comes to once you hit midlife, there are certain things that are said to us, and basically almost in a way of dismissing us, dismissing what we're feeling or dismissing, what we're going through. And that's not right. It's not right at all. And we should not be dismissed. We should be able to ask questions. We should be able to talk about the way that we're feeling and get assistance. And again, why is it as women that we're dismissed? And I think part of it comes in the fact that women so often, really, when you think about it, women so often put themselves last, right? The nurturing side of us. If we're not feeling well and the whole family's sick, well, what do? We make sure that we look after the whole family. Same thing with, jobs, our careers. If we're not feeling well, we'll push through. We'll push through whatever we're feeling because, and especially back when I was in the corporate world, I did not want to be perceived as that I couldn't do the same as a man, that I couldn't, that my performance may suffer because of me being a woman. And I've shared on my very personal story that I used to have extremely bad menstrual cramps, and all the things that I would do just so that I would be at work, not miss work, because I didn't want that reputation of, I guess, being weak or that I let these things bother me. So I pushed through. Of course, as I shared in that had consequences down the road, very severe consequences. But I also started to think of things like, oh, well, once you're over 40, you just start to gain weight. Or once you're over 40, yeah, the aches and pains start coming in. That is not part of aging. That is not the norm. And I'm not sure where this changed for us to start to accept that at a certain age we just start to gain weight and that's the way it is. Or, we just start to feel aches and pains and that's the way it is. It's not. If that's what you're feeling, if that's what you're going through, there's something else going on in your body, or there's something else going on with you. And I look at the holistic woman when I'm working with clients, but we don't have to accept these things. And if we're being told that these things are happening, and here's the thing with weight gain, there are so many women out there with thyroid issues, Hashimoto's, hypothyroid. these things cause weight gain, but it's just chalked up to you're over 40, this is just what happens. No, we do not need to accept this. And this is where we can start to ask more questions. We can ask to have additional tests done. Unfortunately, with thyroid, a lot of times labs won't, especially in Canada. I don't know about the US because people pay for their labs down there. But in Canada, when you go to a medical doctor and want to have your thyroid tested, if they test the TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, and it's within the normal range that they've set, they don't do any further testing. And that's not right, because there can be issues with how our thyroid hormones are being metabolized and how they're being converted within our body. We can also have something called I'm going to call it thyroid antibodies because I'm not going to remember the whole word. I'm going to mess it up. But basically, where our body is actually attacking our thyroid, and that's where Hashimoto's comes in. So if you're gaining weight, yes, it could be hormonal changes that are happening because of menopause, but it could also be thyroid. So we don't need to accept the fact that once we hit a certain age, weight gain is normal. No, it is not. It's the same with aches and pains. Once we reach a certain age, that is not normal. Aches and pains can come from many different things. Yes, absolutely. It can come from, overwork or over exercising or, just over stressing our body. Yes, we can have aches and pains, but those should go away within about a day or so. But if we've got aches and pains that are showing up every single morning, if you're getting out of bed and it's like, oh, getting the body moving, that is not normal. And it can be things like food sensitivities, gut issues. Those can relate to how, or relate to pain in our body. So that's the one thing that I'm so passionate about, is getting to the root cause, understanding why somebody's experiencing this. Now, menopause being talked about more, and I'm not going to dismiss this whatsoever. What you're feeling is real, absolutely. But now everything's being blamed on menopause, that women can experience all these different things. And that is very true, yes. But there are solutions. You don't have to accept just the fact because you're going through perimenopause or you're at the menopause or postmenopause that, we have to accept these things. Like, this is just part of being in menopause. No, it's not. And so, as I say, when I really started to think about this, this has just become the norm. I wanted to mention one more thing about the thyroid. So to get the additional testing, generally what you have to do is actually go see a naturopath to get a full thyroid panel done. Sometimes your doctor, if you really push and say, and this is how I assist my clients, I say to them, you've got all these other symptoms that relate to Hashimoto's. Go to your doctor and ask your doctor to do the thyroid antibody test. And, some doctors will do it, some doctors will push back. So that's where I do need to get my client to actually go to a naturopath to have these additional tests done so that we can take a look at the full thyroid panel. So anyway, I wanted to mention that. So back to, how these things are dismissed. Absolutely, as we age, things in our body change. Absolutely. It's been around for 40 years or longer. Things can add up. Our livers can get congested from things that we use on our body or the environments that we're exposed to. Even medications that we're on can, cause our liver to not work as efficiently. So there's things that can be done to support our liver. I am not a fan of big detoxes, every now and then throughout the year. I just think that that sometimes can just add a lot of extra stress and can actually imbalance certain things. So I'm a fan of supporting our body every day, supporting what our body needs and what it naturally does. So there are things that you can do to support your liver on a daily basis. One of my favorites is dark green vegetables like the broccolis, especially broccoli. It's such a powerhouse. It has so many good components in it that assist not just our digestive system, but our liver as well in breaking down hormones and all those types of things. The other thing is that our adrenal glands, and I'm probably a bit of a broken record when it comes to talking about the adrenal glands, but our adrenal glands have a very important job once we go into perimenopause and then into that menopause, the actual pause, and then postmenopause. Our adrenal glands are being asked to kind of step up and do extra work. But if we've lived a very stressful lifestyle or we're constantly pushing ourselves with over exercising or just pushing ourselves in general because of our lifestyle, that's where our adrenal glands do need support. So, this is why I am not a believer in this is just the way it is, or you're at that age, these things start to happen. No, I don't accept that. There can be an underlying cause. And if we take a look at overall your lifestyle, what you're eating, your exercise, look at your past health history, your past lifestyle, looking at all those things, we can start to find clues as to why you're feeling the way you're feeling. Now, will you be back to feeling like you're a 20-year-old? That I can't guarantee. But I've shared, previously in my story that I feel so much better. I'll be 64 in less than 2 weeks on August 23rd. And I feel better now than I did in my late 40s and early 50s. And that's exactly what I was told by my doctor. You're at that age, these things will start to happen. There's nothing you can do. And I wasn't willing to accept that. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share today, that we do not need to accept these things, that we are allowed to ask questions and find a practitioner that will dig deeper with you. And of course, if you can't find anybody, please reach out to me. I do provide a 30-minute complimentary consultation. So please reach out to me. It's worth having a phone call. As somebody said to me many years ago, what have you got to lose? If what you're doing now isn't working and you're not feeling any better, what do you have to lose by talking to somebody else who can maybe take a fresh perspective on it? So I will put the link down in the description as far as how you can schedule a session with me, a complimentary session with me. And yeah, if you've got comments or have you run into this, I'd really, really love to know, because I truly believe that women are being dismissed and we shouldn't be. And it's not just male doctors that are dismissing women. Female doctors do it as well, and that's really unfortunate. So comment below, or if you've got other questions, you can DM me directly. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe, and you can hit the notification button. Give me a like, that would be awesome as well. And next Monday, this again will be another pre-recorded session, but I'm going to have a very special guest. And I'm going to keep that a little bit of a secret, but she's an amazing woman, and the work that she does is absolutely amazing in helping men and women with intimacy issues. And that's all I'm going to tell you, but it should be a very fun broadcast, and who knows, it might be even a little spicy. So have a great day. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you again.